Hey everyone, I'm Charting Man Dan with the Chart Guys. We're going to check in on the markets here, and today was marked by the return of Roaring Kitty, GME running 90% plus with a bit of a short squeeze. Lots of trading opportunity there for us day traders, but we'll check on the bigger picture and the broader market as well. Before we get to the charts, we have a new page on our website under Resources, Trading Education Roadmap, and that compiles a bunch of our content in a step-by-step roadmap where we start with the beginner stuff, work to intermediary, then we go to advanced, but essentially just organizing all of our, well, not all of our, not even close to all of our content. But over the last decade, we've been putting out a lot, so this is a bit more of a structured guide for you all to work through. Check out the link in the comments of the video. So GME, that's what the daily candle looks like. Huge move up, definitely a big upper wick of profit taking, massive amount of volume. If you do not know who Roaring Kitty is, what GME is about, and you want to know, watch the movie Dumb Money. That will explain everything. I'm not going to go into that here, but this is what sparked a massive euphoria run in 2021 with Reddit and Wall Street bets and these stocks getting short squeezes on them. And again, as a day trader, I posted on Twitter first thing this morning. It's great as a day trader when you can sit down and know that you're going to have volatility in this stock in both directions that's going to last the whole week. This is going to be on the table for trading. And so had a nice entry this morning. We had, Lori was live streaming and talking about these halts and this move. Joey was shorting it up at the top. And so we got some educational content that's going to be coming out, reviewing the live stream and Joey giving his strategy, playing names that halt. And so keep an eye out for that content later this week. So GME, my game plan was give me a reason to go long with a level nearby. At first, I started the morning looking for first 5-minute oversold conditions if we were going to gap up and see profit taking. But then I saw this very clear resistance where we drop down, we reject from 26 psychological, reject from 26 psychological, pause there. And so my mindset was I'm buying that break at 26. If we fail the high of the day right after, that's a red flag and I'll size down. If we break 24.77, I would be all out of that position and take that loss. And I definitely use smaller size on a name this volatile. But again, if you remember 2021, things get nutty here. And a lot of people struggle conceptually to be able to trade things like this, which is why I cannot stress enough treating this like it's a video game and these are numbers flashing in cyberspace. I don't care about GME stock at all when I'm trading this name. Give me the price levels. I'll click the buy and sell button at certain points, and that's that. So GME entry was on the break of 26 on the morning. So filled at 26.38, and a lot of people had their stop buys at that 26 level. I was not the only one that was noticing, and we very quickly, in less than a minute, hit the new high of the day. That tells me, okay, we got the resistance break, we got follow through now. Let this play out. And then it was just a 1-minute stair step. There was nothing really to think about. I was scaling out some into the way up, and then we started the halts. So we halt and then open higher. So we ended up having, I believe, 3 halts. It might have been 4. I forget. It's not easy to see on this 1-minute chart. But I was all out into this last move up here and then just patiently waiting for the pullback. And so selling on the way up. And I broke a rule because after this move, okay, I locked in a few day maker. Great way to start the week. I'm done for the morning. And I said that. And then I saw another setup that I liked. And so I entered the trade. And it ended up being another winning trade here. We were gapping down, gap down, or halt down, I should say. Halt down, one more halt down. And I then used that one to go long off of. So long at 30.34 and sold some at 31.22, sold the rest 32.13 on this move up. And so that was another, day maker, but I went against my discipline. And so even though it's more money, that is a red flag. And so I had to then go into timeout and physically get off the computer because I had just proved to myself that I was not able to stay disciplined. So just giving some insight into my morning, but overall it was great. Great day. Not doing much after hours. Definitely a big upper wick. I was trying to potentially swing some into the close, but we had a 5-minute rising wedge here. So anything under the high of the day is an hourly lower high. Was watching this 5-minute rising wedge exited all of my position into this big dump candle, as that told me, yeah, it's a rising wedge. And I needed to close strong, somewhat close to the high of the day if I were going to swing anything. So I'm going to start tomorrow with a fresh, clean slate. If we open near support, I'll maybe play off support. If we open near resistance and there's shares available to short, maybe I'll play short. But at this point, fresh, clean slate. So can this continue? Sure. I have no idea what to expect in the short term, which is why I have no position. I have no edge on where we go from here. I need new levels to be playing off of tomorrow, just like I did today. And, you know, a lot of people look at that and say, how can you buy that kind of gap up open? You have to keep in mind that when you have a level right nearby that you're going off of, and then you adjust your position size accordingly, and you have a thesis, you're able to do that. And here's Roaring Kitty. And so Roaring Kitty posts this image last night, and that is what sparked a 90% move. And then throughout the day, every half hour, he's been posting videos that he edited, essentially saying, you know, we're not done, I'm back, but he actually hasn't said a word about GME. He hasn't said a word in general, so we'll see. Some people speculating maybe he's talking about a different stock. And so just be open to anything. It's a wild world out there. But just another wave of euphoria, people throwing money at whatever, and we'll see if the S&P 500 and NASDAQ can get back to all-time highs to continue this new wave of euphoria. So here we've got a battle at the all-time high. We're knocking on the door on SPY. The bears are playing a little bit of defense. You can see all this price action here where we topped out the last all-time high. We're just under those levels, but we got a clear daily uptrend, which is always nice. Higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Most important short-term support for me is 515.14. If we break that level, a weekly lower high will be set, and we'll then be looking for a tightening weekly range to play out from there. So short term, we're just battling around. If I see all of our major sectors, QQQ, XLF, XLV, dropping to the low of the day at the same time, I will grab a bearish position and top fish the highs at that point whenever it happens. But otherwise, I have a long lean in my bias because of the trends. QQQ, same deal. Anything above 437.55 is a daily high or low. The uptrend is our guide. There's plenty of resistance up ahead. All this range here, and we're not even touching it just yet. But a daily inside bar today, not much going on. Look at the volume. Where is the volume in the market going? So I've been putting out a couple things on social media saying, you know, be cautious of summer volume and things slowing, and Friday afternoons we shouldn't be trading unless there's extremely high conviction. But you can see SPY's average SPY volume today, 36 million. That is the lowest volume of the year. And, you know, a lot of people will look at that and say, oh, that's bearish. I learned my lesson in 2017. Go back and look at the charts on your own. 2017, declining volume, an entire bull run up. And that for me was an eye-opener because I was used to stocks. Stocks want to see increasing bull volume to have confidence in the move up. These ETFs on the broader market are different. The lesson is they don't need volume on the way up. The highest volume here, and now it's declining. Look at this, the low in October. It was the highest volume at the low, and then volume dropped off. This was a 25% decrease in the average volume of the S&P 500, while the price ripped in melt-up mode. It was extremely strong, and it did not need the volume to do so. Both SPY and QQQ, same story. So here's the volume, the 20-day average volume when we hit the low back here was 76 million shares traded, and now it's dropping down and it's at 63. So we're already down almost 20% of the average volume, while the price has done nothing but go up over the last few weeks. So that's the takeaway. You don't need bull volume to go up. You absolutely need bear volume to go down. This is why I favor playing markets long. They're designed to go up over time. It's not a fair game. You have to have big bear volume for significant weakness. It doesn't happen without it. You don't need big bull volume for significant strength. All right, so daily uptrends are our guide. We've got SMH, same deal. Again, there's a bunch of resistance up here. Look at all these rejections. If there's a spot where the bears are going to protect, that's where they're going to do it. And the daily uptrends are guide. Some of these look a bit rising wedgy. Bull breaks, not seeing a ton of follow through. So I'm very open to tightening weekly ranges for the rest of May. CPI Wednesday, PPI Tuesday, Powell speaking Tuesday, the president speaking at some point. We got a lot of stuff going on this week, and we'll see if that's what helps shape up this weekly lower high. Tesla trying to shape up a weekly higher low. Not any real sign of it at this point, but just making note that we have not confirmed a weekly uptrend at any point in 2024. So if that happens, it will stand out to me, and I'm keeping an eye out. The next trade, I made a swing trade attempt here last week and entered long this day, sell partial into the move up. I stopped out break even when we gave back that move up. And my mindset was that's either the daily high or low and we're going to see continuation, or I'm wrong. And so my mindset's going to be the same on the weekly. I'm looking for something on the daily chart where I can say that's either the weekly high or low or I'm wrong, and use that level as a stop if I'm going to make an attempt. But it's still a very clear daily downtrend at this point. And so I'm in no rush to look for an entry, especially if it's possible that some of these sectors do set weekly lower highs. XLF, so got right up to the all-time high. Today, the high, we got within 0.5% of the all-time high, same with SPY, but a clear bear candle closing at the low. And we came close to all major sectors hitting the low of the day at the same time today, but XLV double bottomed right as it was on the verge of happening. But daily consolidation underway. I want to know what happens when we get to hourly oversold. That gives me information. The futures charts for the NASDAQ and the S&P 500, last time we hit hourly oversold, it was the daily higher low, and we then bull flagged to higher highs. So I want to know, does the XLF hourly oversold, I'm not going to play the trade, it's going to give me information. Does XLF hourly oversold mark a daily higher low? If it does, it's a good sign for the bulls. If it doesn't, weekly lower high will increase probabilities as far as being unable to get over the all-time high. Healthcare, XLV, has a lot more space for a weekly lower high to form compared to SPY, QQQ, XLF. So still watching for that. The daily uptrend is our guide. We've got space for a daily higher low. What's the response to hourly oversold? Same exact story, but same exact story. IWM, a little bit more struggle up here. Did not confirm the daily bull flag in the same way that other sectors did. So we could say low to mid 206 is a resistance zone right now, and bears are hoping that is shaping up a weekly lower high to tighten up most of May. The only way that we're going to drop to a lower low from here in SPY, QQQ, or any of these sectors is on very notable bear volume, with all major sectors hitting the low of the day at the same time on multiple days. It won't happen without that happening. MSOS. So re-entered some long swings in MSOS and TCNNF after sizing down and exiting some last week, so reloading a bit lower, and just having a bit more confidence now that we're likely to trade within this range of the Schedule 3 headline day for a while, potentially for a lot of May. Bulls want to see another leg up. $10 is the next hurdle. Key resistance at $10, but I'm watching for something like this. And we have CGC trading real sideways the last 4 days. That needs to be a bull break for the sector to have a bit of confidence as well. So need to get over 1018. Again, it's just everything within that one candle. We're holding the lows. Can we do something like this into next week? TCNNF, same deal. Hold the lows and watching for something like that. And so I only entered a partial position. Now I'm going to watch for this tightening daily range. If the tightening daily range breaks bull, that's a good sign. I mean, TCNNF holding weekly EMA 12 still. That's been my guide for the majority of this move. Barely held it, but we keep holding it. And so that's a good sign until it changes. So I'll have my finger on the buy and finger on the sell, but waiting for a tightening daily range as most likely, and then the direction that tightening daily range breaks will be key. And as I said in the weekend video, I do think the broader market sentiment, whether or not we're at all-time highs this summer, is going to have a major impact in the short term for this sector. The dollar, trying to shape up a daily uptrend. If we confirm a daily uptrend, it's a very healthy weekly higher low off EMA 12. If you're a bull anything, Bitcoin, gold, silver, broader market, you do not want that to happen. You want to fade back down, fail the daily uptrend, and have that monthly lower high be shaping up. Or confirm the daily uptrend with zero follow through and then head down to a new low. But again, CPI Wednesday probably going to have a pretty major impact on the metals and the dollar Definitely keeping a close eye on the miners. Played the miners to end last week, had a nice trade. But as long as gold has a close proximity to all-time highs, and this is a weekly bull flag attempt, it's all about 2277. That's now a must-hold level. If we lose it, we confirm a weekly downtrend into monthly consolidation. If we hold it, we're heading back to all-time highs. So pull back to start the week. Can bulls salvage this and keep chugging along back towards resistance? Silver didn't drop as much. Again, trying to get back to weekly resistance. A weekly lower high is definitely possible, same as it is for IWM, QQQ, SMH, etc. GDX, the reason I was interested in GDX, remember when I was talking about that silver cup and handle that played out? This is a cup and handle type of pattern, and if we get over resistance, we'll be at 2-year highs. So my entry was on Thursday, sold some Friday on the gap up, and now trying to let it play out further. But again, extra attention on the metal miners as long as gold is a potential weekly bull flag. If gold confirms that weekly lower high, lower low, I stop watching the miners and I focus my attention elsewhere. But we're close to all-time highs, so still watching. Oil weekly stair-step drop. Bears want to see a weekly downtrend confirm as the result of the next bounce if we're going to continue tightening up in this monthly equilibrium. But how this monthly equilibrium breaks sometime within the next probably 4 months is going to have significant implications on the energy sector and, of course, on oil itself. I don't trade oil or energy on a consistent basis, so I'm not doing anything in any of those names until we get a break of this tightening range. But when we do get that break, maybe I pay attention a lot more than I have been. It's all about, again, when you're a full-time trader and you're watching everything, it's all about opportunity cost of attention. Now I'm focusing on GME. I don't need to worry about anything else to day trade. I am watching some other stuff, but I know where the volatility is. And there are times where I ditch something when something doesn't play out. And again, it's a conveyor belt of trades. Got a nice, Kron. Shout out to Kron in the cannabis space. Look at us knocking on the door at $3 here. If we get over $3, it's one of the stronger names. That's going to get us to the highest level that we've seen in years. So I'm paying extra close attention to Kron. I'd like to see one more rejection, but I'm watching close tomorrow. This is my ideal world, but don't always get that just because I don't have a position at the moment. But again, conveyor belt of trades. We got a tightening daily range. That's going to break before a tightening monthly range. And then in a couple months, I'm watching the monthly ranges to break. And so it's just finding all these different time frames with a nice clear setup. And then you got your conveyor belt of trades. As time goes on, the setups get closer and closer to breaking, to bringing that volatility and putting them into play. I was definitely going rapid fire today with the analysis. You could slow it down, but congrats if you kept up with me. Shout out to the Chart Guys members. We had people playing with really small positions on GME, just getting experience, getting their reps in terms of wanting to play something with a bunch of volatility and halts and start to get used to it. And that's the only way that you can. It's trial by fire in this game, and doing so with a very small amount of capital is the way to do it, to preserve your capital, gain the experience, and then use more capital when you have a firmer grasp on things and you have more confidence. So I really like the way everybody was trading, and keep an eye out for those other more in-depth GME videos that will be coming down the pipeline. Do good things. Have a good day. These are honeyberries. Most people haven't heard of them. Pretty good.